Alright, so this is part one of our Polarity lab. What we're going to do here is we're going to be testing solubility. We want to see whether a solid is going to be completely dissolved and disperse itself into a solution. In terms of solvents, what we're going to be comparing here is just water. We have a spot plate here. I'm just going to take a droplet. This is just tap water here. I'm going to load up these individual spot plates here. The other solvent that we're going to be testing it against is just some oil. So I already have some in this dropper here. I'm just going to put it in the second row here. So that's an oil solution here. And again, what we're going to be testing here is the solubility of different solids, ranging from ionic compounds. Sugar is polar covalent, and sulfur is nonpolar. We're going to sort of cross-match it in these solvents to see whether it's soluble or not soluble. So let's just take this salt solution here. So just table salt NaCl. Just going to add a little bit into each of these containers here. We do the same with the sugar. So the spot plates are nice. They sort of have the little divots, so they sort of keep us organized here. So sugar in both solutions here, and a little bit of sulfur. Very characteristic yellow powder. Okay. And then again, what we're going to do here is we're just going to investigate whether it dissolves or doesn't dissolve. So I do have 6 different stir rods here, so we can mash up a little bit of the powder here. So this is table salt and a little bit of water. Okay. This part shouldn't really surprise you here. The next time you just toss salt and water here, should have no trouble dissolving there. Okay. It's possible if I toss in too much of the salt here, you might actually saturate the solution, but because sodium chloride here is very, very soluble, I would expect this to be fairly dissolved, okay, fairly soluble. Okay. We'll switch over to another glass stir rod here. Let's try the same table salt here, but in oil. Okay. Looks like the oil has pretty much maybe evaporated off a little bit, but you still see a lot of crystals of table salt left over. Okay. We can do that as our observation here. Moving on to our middle solutions here, we have a sugar solution in water. Okay. Again, should be unsurprising to you here. Does sugar dissolve in water? Okay. And then similarly, what we're going to do is we're going to be testing sugar in an oil solution. So very similar effect to what we saw with the salt. Okay. And the last solubility test we're going to do is sulfur. So sulfur is a nonpolar compound here. You notice that still the characteristic yellow powder is still left over there. Okay. And then we're going to try the last one here with just the sulfur. Okay. Again, there's always a little bit of contention just in case, I didn't have enough solvent and I actually oversaturated the solutions, but we're just trying to make some qualitative comparisons. What does it look like? Which one does it seem to have dissolved better in? And solubility here does range, so it changes with temperature, it changes with the amount of solvent. Okay, there's a lot of variability in it, but essentially in this lab we're just saying, did it dissolve, soluble? It should be aqueous, or if it didn't dissolve, we'll just say it remained a precipitate, remained as a solid. So, thanks guys.